The Musk Johnson proposal is not serious. It's laughable. Extreme MAGA Republicans are driving us to a government shutdown.
We're going into 2025 with an unelected foreign leader. We all know that President-elect Musk is the one that is behind the scenes pulling Donald Trump's strings. And like Adam Kinzinger says, evidently the GOP really doesn't have a problem with foreigners taking over the country, as long as they are the right complexion and have enough money to actually buy the presidency. We do need to talk about this looming shutdown. I use a smart news app where the different media outlets post their articles. And this one from Fox News was interesting to me in how they titled this. Here's a list of 38 Republicans who defied Trump by voting no on the failed spending bill. They are literally saying that all of these people in Congress are literally supposed to kiss the ring and kowtow to Trump. So we are about to get into this news article. A bill to avert a partial government shutdown that was backed by VP Donald Trump failed to pass the House of Representatives on Thursday night, pushing the Congress closer to a government shutdown. The bill, which had won the approval of VP Donald Trump, still lost the approval of 38 Republicans. The deal roundly lost 235 to 174, scoring only 2 yes votes and 197 Democratic noes. I don't know why they thought that they were going to get any, well, they got 2, but I don't know why they expected any Dems to say yes. It comes after 2 days of chaos in Congress as lawmakers fought amongst themselves about a path forward on government spending, a fight joined by VP Trump and his president, elongated Muskie and Vivek Ramaswamy. Meanwhile, the national debt has climbed to $36 trillion and the national deficit is over $1.8 trillion. The New Deal also includes several key policies unrelated to keeping the government open, but the 116-page bill is much narrower than the 1,500-page predecessor.
Very disappointing to us that all but 2 Democrats voted against aid to farmers and ranchers, against disaster relief, against all these bipartisan measures that had already been negotiated and decided upon. Again, the only difference on this legislation was that we would push the debt ceiling to January of 2027. I want you all to remember that it was just last spring that the same Democrats berated Republicans and said that it was irresponsible to hold the debt limit, the debt ceiling hostage. What changed? It is, I think, really irresponsible for us to risk a shutdown over these issues on things that they have already agreed upon. I think you need to be asking them the questions about that.
So this article from Fox was at 4 a.m. this morning. And now this is what's going on as of this afternoon. Government shutdown is hours away unless Congress agrees on a spending bill. I wonder what President Musk is thinking right now. Which way should they go? Which way should they go? Shutdown looms. The U.S. is hours away from a government shutdown unless Congress agrees on a spending plan. The House failed Thursday to pass a new Donald Trump-backed GOP proposal. And it says Donald Trump-backed, but it means elongated Musk-backed plan to fund the government into March, ratcheting up a threat of a shutdown ahead of the midnight deadline. New strategy. In a last-minute bid to avert a shutdown, the House GOP leaders are now eyeing a strategy that would allow lawmakers to take separate votes on funding the government and raising the debt limit. GOP members are expected to meet this afternoon to discuss the latest proposal, according to lawmakers and aides. Trump weighs in. The president in name only said Friday morning that if there has to be a government shutdown, he wants it to occur while Joe Biden is president. Trump tanked an original bipartisan deal unveiled on Wednesday. I think the leopards are about to actually start cannibalizing. I think that Republicans are about to start fighting each other because once they are in charge, it will fall on them to be able to get things done and govern because they will have the House, the Senate, the presidency, and the Supreme Court, so they won't have any excuses. But right now, they're showing what the chaos is going to look like, and it's going to be crazy. So this man is a GOP person, and he's sitting up here like, why aren't we getting things done? He is actually quite upset because he said we had a bill, and this is the second bill. It's pared down, but y'all still are voting against it. So he is piping hot mad.
We are going to increase the debt ceiling, not just $4 trillion, that's false. We have spent $4.7 trillion in additional debt in the last 19 months. We're going to increase the debt by $5 trillion. That's what's going to happen right here by Republicans, increasing the debt $5 trillion. And what are you doing in the same bill? $110 billion unpaid for. Because you never have any ounce of self-respect to go out and campaign saying you're going to balance the budget, and then you come in here and pass $110 billion unpaid for. On top of the $200 billion you did for WEP, you guys won't agree with that, but the fact of the matter is $330 billion. Congratulations, you've added to the debt since you were given the majority again on November 5th. It's embarrassing. It's shameful. Yes, I think this bill is better than it was yesterday on certain respects, but to take this bill yesterday and congratulate yourself because it's shorter in pages, but increases the debt by $5 trillion is asinine. And that's precisely what Republicans are doing. I'm absolutely sickened by a party that campaigns on fiscal responsibility and has the temerity to go forward to the American people and say, you think this is fiscally responsible. It is absolutely ridiculous.
And this is from Jasmine Crockett from yesterday. She says, let me make it plain. The Republicans have the majority in the House. When this vote we are about to take fails, it will be because they literally can't do this without us. Watch how government works, Civics 101, classes in session. At this juncture, the Republicans are going to actually have to reach across the aisle. They've been so used to just governing by saying no that they don't really know how to do politics where there has to be some kind of give and take. That's the reason why this is going to be a very interesting next 2 years. And I say 2 years because because midterms will come up. And many of these people will probably get voted out because they are going to be ineffective and they're going to be fighting each other. And then they're going to attempt to primary each other. And all Democrats really have to do is just sit back and watch the fireworks. Do like Jasmine Crockett was talking about the other day and just sip some tea and let these people govern or attempt to govern and fight amongst each other. It's going to be wild. The lepers have been feasting and eating faces, but they're about to start eating each other next.
In our nation's 248-year history, 25% of our nation's debt was accumulated during the 4 years of the former president. 25%. How dare you lecture America about fiscal responsibility, ever? And then President Biden comes to office, gets big things done for the American people on infrastructure, on the CHIPS and Science Act, standing up a clean energy economy, rescuing America from a once-in-a-century pandemic, gets all of these big things done, partnering with House Democrats and Senate Democrats. And in the process, in his first 2 years, reduces the deficit by $1.7 trillion. And so we see in our nation's